I have eliminated 80% of the Jews from this world and I'm leaving 20% behind. After my death, you'll realize that I should have finished the remaining 20% as well. Erasing the Jews from existence completely, said Hitler in one of his orders. Whenever Hitler's name is mentioned, a question arises as to why he conducted such a large-scale massacre of Jews. Why did he hate Jews so much, and why did he expel them from Germany? Many books have been written to answer these questions. The most accurate point is that Hitler considered the German race the best in the world. He believed that only the Germans had the right to rule the world and that eliminating traitors was necessary for Germany's progress. He saw such individuals as obstacles to human advancement. Jews in Germany secretly conspired against German ideals and sided with foreign powers. To Hitler, working against Germany while living in Germany was an unforgivable crime, and he was aware of the historical enmity they held, dating back to their defiance against prophets. As a Christian, Hitler knew it was the Jewish scholars who had plotted to crucify Jesus Christ. This fueled his perception of them as a tainted race, and he sought to rid the world of Jews. Unlike Christians, Jews do not believe in Jesus Christ as the Son of God, which some Christians have historically seen as a sign of defiance. For centuries, the Church taught that the Jews were responsible for the death of Jesus. However, today's modern churches and historians teach that it was the Roman government, not the Jews, who saw Jesus as a threat and crucified him. The government imposed restrictions on Jews, banning them from certain jobs and property ownership. At that time, Christian doctrines also forbade usury, a practice Jewish financiers engaged in. Documents titled the Protocols of the Elders of Zion alleged that Jews were conspiring to control the world, depicting a meeting of Jewish leaders to plan global domination through organizations, political parties, and public opinion. These protocols spread internationally, even reaching the US. In November 1938, violence against Jews erupted across the state. This wasn't out of compulsion, but rather due to the anger of Germans over the murder of a German officer in Paris. In 2 days, over 250 synagogues were burned, 7,000 Jewish businesses were looted and destroyed, and dozens were killed, with Jewish cemeteries, hospitals, schools, and homes ravaged as police and firefighters stood by, leading to the night being called Kristallnacht, or the Night of Broken Glass. Following this, 30,000 Jewish men were arrested and taken to concentration camps, where hundreds perished. Some Jewish women were detained in local police stations. Jewish businesses were prohibited from reopening unless under non-Jewish management, and curfews restricted their movements. The restrictions placed immense hardship on Jews. After Kristallnacht, life became more difficult for Jewish children and youth in Germany and Austria. They were already barred from museums, public events, and swimming pools, and were now expelled from public schools. Jewish youth faced complete social isolation. Desperation led many families to try to flee, while others resorted to suicide. Around 17,000 Polish Jews were expelled from Germany. This was part of a response to alleged Jewish conspiracies and attacks against Germany. On November 9, 1938, a German officer was shot and killed in Paris. Jews were increasingly isolated and barred from public positions. By April 1947, following Hitler's rise to chancellorship, a racial policy was implemented, requiring public servants to prove their Aryan ancestry. For the first time, the law defined Jews racially. Any government employees with Jewish grandparents were dismissed. In August 1938, all Jews were legally required to adopt Jewish first names. Men were to add Israel and women Sarah to their names to signify their Jewish identity. In October, the German government confiscated Jewish passports, stamping new ones to mark their holders as Jewish. On September 19, 1941, Jews in Germany were required to wear a yellow Star of David with the word Jew to visibly identify them. The systematic deportation of Jews from Germany began in October, and by March 1942, they were mandated to display the yellow star at their residences, leading to what became known as the Holocaust. The term Holocaust is controversial in certain countries. Using or writing it in context can lead to prison sentences of 3 to 10 years, and accounts using it on social media can be blocked. Jews have capitalized on the term and its atrocities to gain sympathy, leading many, including Germans, to sympathize deeply with them. While similar horrors have been inflicted on Muslims, such as in the Sabra and Shatila massacres, these instances often receive less international attention. The term Holocaust evokes deep emotions and empathy that have not similarly been extended to other victims of persecution. Afterward, Jewish forces were established in Israel, with high-ranking officers having previously engaged in oppressive acts against the Palestinian population. They pushed Palestinians from their homes, seizing land and property. During holidays, loud music was often played in Palestinian camps to drown out the cries of Muslims. Palestinians, living under intense pressure, have continued to face such hostilities. Some Jewish sects still believe in ancient traditions, considering the pursuit of a separate Jewish state as defiance against divine will, forewarning that such actions would lead to the world's downfall. They see the current state of Israel as a contradiction to these beliefs. Today, many view Hitler's actions as foreshadowing current events. The same alleged global plans that Nazi ideologies revealed about Jews are purportedly now being executed successfully, with support from a Christian world that perceives them as a victimized race.